I'll be showing it slide one off to you guys. We'll start this off with some quick introductions. This is Joester. He just did the Pac-Man world. He's awesome. This is Cyna. He's a Harry Potter speedrunning god. And this is Neon. I don't like this guy. But took all my records from me. Nah, he's a really good slide runner too. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start the run, count down from 3, 2, 1, go. And then we'll get into explaining why I'm loading a file instead. So, are we ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Rack attack.
Rack attack.
Let's go Zen.
Alrighty, so first off, we have the very first trick in the game, Paris skip. Well, if I don't mess it up. So that just skipped the entire tutorial level. For whatever reason, they didn't put like a lock trigger on the hideout here, so we can just skip the entire thing. It's really awesome. And now, and now we're gonna get to the first cutscene in the game, or not. So that's why we load the file now. So there's a weird thing that you can do in this game where you can load a file and then start a cutscene, and it will watch that cutscene on the file that you loaded. So we can do this to set up a file that skips every animated cutscene in the game.
Yeah, that skips about 7-ish minutes of cutscenes, I think, is what you were saying earlier. So.
Yep, 7 minutes and 8 seconds, I think, is what the final time came out to.
Yeah, so that was the first proxy of the run. So much like Spyro, there are proxies in this game, and how they work is generally the same. You get stuck in a spot that's too small for Sly, and in order to prevent you from getting stuck permanently, the game just shoots you out with a lot of speed, and you can use that speed to your advantage to get enormous amounts of height and or distance.
All right, so there, every Binocucom cutscene in the game, so like the little cutscene where Bentley comes up and talks to you in the bottom left corner, you can skip those by either loading the game or by dying after the cutscene has already started. So just a really simple death abuse right there. And then just kind of glossed over a cool out of bounds. Don't worry about that. This game's perfect.
It's not the first out of bounds, or not the last out of bounds, rather.
Yep.
Oh no, there are so many. So the rest of this, well, again, this game's perfect. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, these spotlights, they won't actually alert Sly unless he touches the ground with the spotlight on him. So as he just jumps over them, they won't see him.
Alrighty, so after the end of this level, it's worth noting that every level in the game has a set point that it spawns you after you load. So we're gonna do that to skip a bunch of intended platforming. And then when I enter the next level, we're gonna do that load the game to skip the cutscene again. But there's like 1.5 minutes of downtime where nothing really happens. So if you wanna throw some donations our way, we can go ahead and do that.
Sure thing. We have $200 from Anonymous. It says, have to sleep, but I wanted to support the run. Diablo got me into gaming, and this is the first time I was able to watch GDQ live. Go, Mr. Loma. $200 from Unknown. Dark Souls, Celeste, cows, and dogs. I can't choose, so I'll support them all. Greetings from the Netherlands. $250 from Trombone Master. Hey Zen, it's me, your trusty absentee moderator Jonathan, aka Trombone Master. I just wanted to show my support for my favorite streamer and incidentally cram my money into my favorite charity's face. Don't worry, man, you got this. Donation to Zen's Choice.
Thanks, Trom. And you can keep going.
Sure, $20 from Jonas464. Yo, Zen, Jonas from chat here. Let's go kick some owl butt and beat the fiendish 5. And also, let's get first try Cletus Yeetus.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
That's a really fun trick. We'll get to that in a minute. Well, like 20.
So Zem's gonna use like double jump a lot in this run, and as you can see here, he's gonna jump across the railing because using the railing normally is really slow. So he's gonna jump around and clip back on and jump off again.
Yeah, the timing for that's a little ridiculous, but you know, you get used to it.
And it's low fall damage too, so he can just fall down everywhere.
Yeah. So coming up right here is the first and only use of, I guess we'll just call it checkpoint warping. I don't think we ever named it. But for whatever reason, some checkpoints in this game, when you respawn from them, if you just mash the heck out of the jump button, you just get a super high launch. And we can use that right there to skip like a 5-second cycle. But unfortunately, there's no other good use for that. And right here, since you're going to be seeing it a lot, the instant that you collect anything in this game and the autosave logo pops up, the first frame of that, it counts as having been collected. So we're going to be pretty much pausing the game whenever I collect a key to skip any animation possible. And here we have a wonderful trick found by Mr. Taymneon on the couch. If you would like to go ahead and explain what I'm going to be doing here.
So basically, we're just going to use the guard's, basically just use the guard's animation when he jumps to proxy off of his hitbox up towards the key. It's pretty precise and it requires a lot of timing, but we're going to use a setup here that Zen made, so hopefully we can time it right and proxy up directly to the key.
Oh,
Nice.
Or into the torch.
Or into the
yeah.
That's rough.
But luckily we have a checkpoint here so we can respawn and try it again.
Exactly. Now he's a little bit further out here, so I'm going to need him to do 2 jumps, but
It's gonna look sick when he gets it.
Nice.
Nice.
There you go.
easy every time. Yeah, that trick is incredibly hard because there are so many things that come into play. The angle at which you jump at the guard and the timing of the jump and your distance all matter. So it's really difficult. This level is another one that there's really nothing cool that happens. So if you want to read like 2 donations, you can do that.
Absolutely. We have $10 from Kate207. I promised a good pun, so hope you have a good run, Zen.
Oh,
Why do chicken coops have 2 doors? Because if they had 4 doors, they'd be chicken sedans. Some of you are okay with that?
it is perfect, Kate.
$250 from George K. Amazing job, guys. Not only the dedication and skill needed to speedrun, but also on helping for this great cause.
So I waited there because for whatever reason, this game likes to store your inputs into the menu, even though you've let go of the analog stick. So I like to play it safe a lot of the time. And here we have another one of these really cool proxies that Neon, again, I'll pass it over to you.
Yeah, this one's very precise. This one requires a lot of timing as well. So it involves basically just getting stuck in a very small crack on a bookshelf and timing your X input to launch basically up towards the key again, pretty much the same way as before. So it's very precise, but we'll see if we can get it here.
Yeah, shout outs to Zuryu for actually tasking a setup for this. Because there was basically no way we were going to figure this out.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go.
So I didn't want to say it beforehand, but I've been having a lot of trouble with that in the practice room, so we take those.
Can confirm.
All right, so right here we have pipe jump, and essentially, right on the outside of that pipe is a cutscene trigger, but there's fortunately about a sly and a half model worth of gap between the pipe and the actual cutscene, so we can do a really precise curl jump which is basically just jumping towards the television screen and then jumping back up to skip the cutscene. Sorry for triggering the alarm. We get to listen to this lovely alarm sound for another 10 seconds.
Nice.
That was good.
So another thing I didn't want to mention until afterwards was I forgot pipe jump existed, and I haven't practiced it at all, so that could have been pretty bad. But
Sorry, just got a first try.
Exactly.
God gamer, no big deal.
mess up all the things that I practice and nail the thing I don't.
Yeah, that's how it works, right?
That sounds
Exactly.
correct.
All right, so here I'm going to be listening for an audio cue of right before the second, beat of the loop of the music. And that's just to load as quickly as I can, because at the bottom, when you touch the ground, a cutscene trigger happens. However, as I mentioned earlier, cutscenes in the game can be skipped by loading, so. But otherwise, there's nothing going on here. I'm going to be beating up crabs and breaking chests, so if you want to read a couple donations, feel free.
Absolutely. We have $100 from Anonymous. Loving the runs over here in Australia and looking forward to the Sly Cooper run. Gotta get my dose of PS2 platformers.
Shout outs to all the Australian people.
$5 from SRGT Silent. Zen, I'm staying up late for you. 4 a.m. is, of course, the best time for Sly thievery.
Oh yes, I agree. My awful sleep schedule will show that.
This is peak PlayStation hours right now.
Oh yeah.
$120 from ProScion173. Raccoons equals the best animal. Good luck with the run.
Alrighty, so coming up is going to be the biggest reason why we run this game on a backwards compatible PlayStation 3 instead of a PS2. And that is because the PS3 resets the game about 5 seconds faster than the fastest PS2 models. And then you save a little bit extra time in loads.
Yeah, so right when he gets into the boss here, he's gonna pause, he's gonna menu and reset the game to skip the cutscene at the start of the boss. And you can do that right when the trigger in the bottom left corner of the screen appears.
So shout outs to playing this game on a backwards compatible PS3. For whatever reason, when you reset the game, it turns your controller off. And I've lost far more time than I would care to admit to not turning my controller back on. Oh.
I think that's just the monitor. It should go away.
Yeah. I think, okay, there we go. All right, so this is the first boss, Raleigh. And since I skipped this cutscene, I guess I can explain a little bit about him. Basically, he was a rich kid that got bored, so he became a pirate. Why not?
OS Frog in the chat.
Oh yes, Rack Attack versus OS Frog, please.
Let's get it.
And I guess one thing worth noting is I'm waiting after he lands for a specific part of his jump back animation. And essentially what that's doing is it's hitting him to avoid the knockback, so I can knock him back to the platform as fast as possible. Because normally when you hit him, he'll like land in the water and take a while to jump back.
And at the end of this fight, he's going to do the same thing he's been doing with the other levels with the keys. He's going to exit the level right as he gets the last hit in to skip the ending cutscene. Like that.
All right, first world down.
It's very nice.
All right, so this trick, we're gonna go ahead and do it and then explain it afterwards, just because it can be kind of spooky.
A nice double jump over that door. Yeah.
No big deal.
No big deal.
Oh. So that's really bad.
Take two.
Let's forget that happened. Yeah, well, let's go.
Yeah, all right, this is the first time coming into the level, so this is rocky start, and I would never lie to you. Ooh.
Same one.
Oh, hey, shout-outs to just landing under the water. All right, let's see if I can actually not mess this up this time. Nope.
What do you mean this time? This is the first attempt. I don't know what you're
Yeah, exactly. This should be fine. Nope. And this is the same setup that I normally use. I'm wondering if I might be aggroing the dog too early. Oh, well, there's a little like teaser of what's going to be happening.
Okay, so a mix of that and the ones you've gotten before, and
Yeah.
we're in there.
There we go.
First try, no big deal.
Yeah, first try, easy. Yeah, so that trick is incredibly difficult, and essentially how that came about is a really, really funny story. So this guy was just learning the game and decided to jump down there, just because why not, and found a 30-second time save for just because. But essentially what's happening there is you're getting stuck between the dog and the wall, and when the dog's attack animation starts up, it doesn't actually deal damage to you. So you're getting pushed between those two things at a really high speed and ramping off a little piece of the like floor that's kind of angled. So here again, we're loading to skip a bunch of platforming, and then we're greeted by a cutscene, which we can just skip immediately anyway.
Yeah, he's been doing that for a lot of levels, like load the game as soon as you enter the level to skip the opening cutscene.
Yeah, the cutscenes in this game are actually good, so it's kind of a bummer that they get skipped, but gotta go fast, right?
Exactly. It is really a shame, though. A lot of the cutscenes are really, really good, especially like the intro, like dialogue between Sly and Mugshot.
Oh, look, another one.
They're everywhere in this game. So here, all of the guards' positions are set. So if you play the level enough, you can know exactly where you need to be pre-firing. But other than that, again, there's really not too much going on right here. So if you want to go ahead and read some donations, go ahead.
All right, we have $50 from Vad Deastuade. This may be a risky choice since I don't remember how the run goes, but I'll donate $5 more every time a character in-game says Cooper or Thievius. $10 if it's Carmelita. Definitely worth donating for Ringtail.
I respect this commitment. Does this mean... Oh, you're good, sorry.
No, you're good.
I was going to say, does this mean that I have to not do one of the cutscene skips?
But it's in the name of speed.
That's true. And that's ultimately the goal.
That too.
Wait,
Fair point.
please die. Bad dog. So here I'm going to be loading right as Marie passes the like dark window of the two to skip the key animation that follows. And then we're just going to view map back to the hub world because it's faster than exiting level.
Yeah, so even as the screen like fades out from exiting level loading game, you're still moving, and so you can use that both there and with Sly as well to actually just snatch objects as you're exiting the level.
Yep. The game has very, very interesting mechanics when it comes to loading and saving. Oh, Bentley. We love you.
Shoutouts to Bentley. What a lad.
So there's actually a death barrier there that looks intended, but it's actually not. They just didn't extend the damage barrier enough to the left, so you can just kind of jump down and skip like a quarter of the level. And then up here, we're going to abuse some out-of-bounds things that have collision to skip another large portion of the level. All right.
Nice.
So the reason why that's difficult is there's an invisible wall on like the corner of that. So you have to get enough speed to jump out to actually jump around it. And then you have to curl your jump backwards. Oh, that's lovely. To curl your jump backwards to actually let's grab the thing. And I'm dead.
Wow.
That's really bad.
It's okay. It's okay.
So these roulette wheels have a very interesting property where they like to just clip you through the ground for whatever reason. And there is no explanation for this. But yeah, it's all good. I don't need the charm, so.
Yeah, and every 100 coins in this game, you get a charm, and then I think if you have a gold charm already, you get an extra life if you get another 100 coins. So.
Yeah. I probably should have explained that at some point, but you know, who cares? And essentially the way the charm works and how the game works in general, if you've ever played Crash Bandicoot or like Spyro the Dragon, it's a one-hit kill platformer, and the charms just give you extra hits, basically. So that could have been a little bit better. I actually joked in the practice room that I wanted to clip through the roulette wheel because it's GDQ, and that can only happen once, so shout outs to giving yourself bad luck. All right, so this is the dog race. Basically, we're going to be racing a bunch of dogs to get a key. And yeah, that's about it. It's really fun.
Oh, Mary.
Fortunately, after this level, the next 3 levels are all really good. So.
Also, something you saw really quick there is if you actually spin the analog sticks around during these cutscenes, both the characters' heads go absolutely ballistic.
Yeah, it's great. Unfortunately, you only really get to see that twice. So these dogs can actually crash here. Hopefully that happens. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta love amazing AI. But this is effectively just an auto-scroller. There's probably like a minute and a half left of this. So if you want to read more donations, now's a really good time.
All right, we have a special donation from Kay Miller, Jay Worsham, and Gamerland of $100 that says, Zenthrow, we are so happy to see you running Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus on the big stage. We love having you represent the game that has created so many of our lifetime friendships together. From Kevin Miller, the voice of our own Sly Cooper, Justin Worsham, and the mods of Gamerland Podcast, and all the members of the community, jump and press the circle button. Okay, bye. Donation goes to Runner's Choice.
Shout outs to...
Yeah.
Big shout outs to Kevin Miller, like he said, the voice of Sly, for just casually coming into the speedrun scene and just enjoying watching runs and hanging out with us. It's really cool. And you can keep going.
Sure, we have $15 from Melender that says, Sly 1 was literally my childhood. Sly is still my favorite 3D platforming series, and I'm so excited to see it totally get broken. $15 from CinderKit5. Hey Zen, really sad I couldn't be there for the Sly run, but I wanted to wish you all good luck. P.S. Let's hope for first try Cletus.
We kind of borked that one, didn't we? Poor Cinder. She had to leave yesterday, the day before the run. Now, unfortunately, during that cutscene, I'm actually locked out of inputs, so I can't load the game to skip this one. All Alrighty, so Neon, if you would like to explain Mugshot Catapult, but it's a proxy.
So Mugshot Catapult is just another proxy. It basically works the same as all of the other proxies. It just requires a tight angle and a timed input. Cane swing.
Fast.
There you go. Basically works the same as all the other proxies, just requires a tight angle.
Now, shout outs to Hub 2, or the part of this world not being loaded until you get up here, and then it just magically pops into view.
And there's actually another proxy coming up in this level.
Yep.
Works the exact same way.
This was also found by Mr. Neon on the couch.
This one's a lot more consistent.
Oh, yeah. So I'm actually going to take time here to get a charm. That's fine, there's coins up here.
So yeah, there are tons of proxies found since last time Sly was a feature out of GDQ.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest reasons I submitted all keys. Not only because it's a new category that hasn't been shown yet on the stage, but because there's been so many awesome, just really cool tricks found, especially within the last year. The community has really popped off in the last year. Lots of new runners, lots of people coming back, and just lots of really cool new tricks.
Yeah, one of the cool things about all keys is unlike any percent, you actually get to see the levels in the first 2 worlds of the game, because there are big skips in any percent that just let you get to the bosses immediately in worlds 1 and 2. But in this category, you actually get to see a bunch of these levels that all have some really cool strats. So thanks to everyone who donated to change this to an all keys run.
Yes, thank you very much. You guys have been killing it with donations this week. So here we have what is probably the hardest trick in the game now.
Definitely the most inconsistent proxy of all of the ones we found.
So essentially what I'm doing here is I'm getting a specific angle by running against the wall. And then waiting for a specific antenna cycle to get launched up here.
Not yet.
And then we have to jump back inbounds, which is easy every time.
Okay, now you can
Nice.
So that jump back inbounds looks really easy, but slide speed are actually touching a death barrier. So you need really precise movement. We actually use the D-pad, so you can move directly forward. And then you need to time your jump so you get maximum double jump height. I'm going to grab this charm for safety, because I can easily jump back up here.
I think this is the first time we've seen Carmelita. She doesn't really like Sly for a number of reasons, but
Don't mind that.
yeah,
Don't mind that.
it's
The task desynced. No. What actually was there is there's a new strat that was found 2 weeks ago-ish, where you can get a proxy there, but it's only really worth 1 attempt, and kind of wanted to have a surprise come in, but it's all good. It looks really cool, but like I said, it only saves 5 seconds, so I figured I'd throw an attempt at it for fun.
I'm gonna hunt you down, Cooper. You can't run forever.
Yes, I can, Carmelita. That's what I do. I run. Man, the stream room has been such an amazing environment.
Hey, shout out to the PlayStation Nation repping tonight.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to the 4 a.m. crew.
Yes. Being awake this late is always fun. Alright, so this dog is awful, and we don't mention him. And then you can hit these trampoline, awning things from below to skip some extra platforming, and we're actually going to be doing that here to skip half of the level. So normally the intended way is to follow that and climb up and then do this really slow spotlight section, but you can actually just get wedged in between those 2 trampolines and bounce up. And then here, this is where you're intended to go, but if you press square and X at the same time when you land on those, you can actually preserve your momentum. Unfortunately, I missed the first one, which messed up my setup for the second one, but it's all good. It's a 10-second time loss. And now we're going to be showing off one of those tricks that's used in any percent. So we're going to actually go out of bounds here, and get a very specific spot. And we're going to start doing a technique that's called super jumping, which I'll explain in a minute. And we're going to come down here and get real cozy with Mugshot's face, which I'm sure he loves, and clip through the wall and access the loading zone for the boss.
Yes.
So super jumping is this really weird quirk with the game where the first, I believe it's the first 6 seconds, but it might be the first 12, or the first 6 frames or the first 12 frames, when you land on the ground, if you jump, Sly won't have a little dust cloud pop up, and if you swing your cane, you can extend this to give you like a second to do it. And as you do this, you can actually move throughout the world without updating Sly's grounded position. And the next time you take damage via like falling in a pit or the water, you will get sent back to your last position, but there will be no collision. However, Sly can still hit load zones. So that's the big trick that we use in any % to skip straight into Raleigh and Mugshot's hub worlds, or boss fights rather.
Yeah, we're just abusing the game's mechanic about how Sly takes damage, where he lands when he does. It takes him back to his the game's last known position.
So right there, a little small strat that's kind of glossed over. When you hit Mugshot, right before you deal that first point of damage, it'll lock him into an animation where a cutscene can't play. And it saves just a few seconds, but that's fine. It saves a few seconds, but it's still pretty cool. So here we have a really cool trick called Chandelier Jump coming up, and hopefully I don't mess it up.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh no. Okay, that's interesting. So for whatever reason, sometimes the camera will just unlock and so what I do up there is I hold right on the D-pad because the camera will normally continue to move, and it allows me to move without worrying about falling off. Unfortunately, if the camera doesn't lock, you just run off the pit and die, which is a pretty big time loss, but it's all good. We'll get the big time losses out of the way now so we nail all the hard stuff later.
You're just setting it up for first try Bentley skip.
Exactly. We're gonna get instant spinning too.
Oh yes, instant spinning.
Darn, I missed the mirror. There
we go.
So again, loading the game there, and during the fade out, the boss dies, the game auto saves, and it saves onto the file that I just loaded. So it skips the cutscene that plays afterwards.
All right, so this level has a really fun jump coming up. I'm just kidding, it's actually terrible.
What are you talking about? A blind jump with a camera change mid-jump? That doesn't sound like fun to you?
Easy.
Hey,
Nice.
easy every time.
Yeah. It looks so easy, Zach. What are you talking about?
So you get all the hard stuff first try.
Exactly. So yeah, that jump, the landing on the rock isn't really that bad. It's the jumping over to the vine. You need a very specific angle and like reaching towards a very specific spot on the vine to press circle, and you have to be at a specific height threshold, otherwise the game won't register it. And no other things down there have collision until you land on that vine. It's awful. It's a very unique game design choice that frustrates me to no end. But it's all good. Sucker Punch did a really good job with this game. So this jump, if you play this game casually, you probably remember a lot of frustration and a really big giant snake that probably scared the heck out of you. I don't like snakes. I don't know about you guys at home, but snakes are bad. We don't like snakes.
A lot of hook jumps here.
This is casual out of bounds.
Yep.
Yeah, we don't gotta mention that. Oh, whoops. That's fine. I think I jumped a little too early there, but that's okay. That's why I have the charm.
And it's great about the fall. It takes you back to out of bounds where you can continue the skip.
Yep. So yeah, we just skipped the entire level. Just go out of bounds and run straight to the end. And now coming up it's technically the second instance of just RNG nonsense, but the first one, crabs, isn't that bad. But this level is really fun. It's also really boring, so if you want to read some donations, it's a really good time.
Sure, I have $25 from Trombone Master. He says, I forgot to mention that I will donate another $100 if you get fish skip. Good luck.
So I guess I could actually talk about that just for kicks. Provide some entertainment. So there's a trick here that you can do to actually skip this entire minigame, but the angle needed to get that is a 6-degree angle range of motion, so it's like 90 to 96 on the control stick. And this game has a full 360-degree range of motion, so have fun doing that. If you get it in an 80% run, yeah, I'll never beat your time. You can have the record.
Yeah.
There's already one instance of annoyingly precise angles with vehicles in this game, so adding another is not something that anyone's really looking forward to anytime soon.
So that was actually insane.
Yeah, that was
really good. That was really good.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, that was pretty good.
So the highest I've ever seen on the end game clock there is 110, and we just got a 104, so it's pretty solid. So this level has a really cool out of bounds that I'll pass over to Neon to explain.
So this is, I don't know if you guys have seen the old any percent run on GDQ in 2015, but we used to do a trick called hook jump, and this trick completely bypasses hook jump. It's much easier. You can just ledge grab on that branch, on that tree, and then just hop right back over. And just like that, you're pretty much at the end of the level.
After these enemies here. There you go.
That's fine.
Yeah, those ghost hitboxes are rough.
Yeah. And they spawned in like random sides of the tombstone. I'm loading the game here because I would like a charm for the next minigame coming up. It can be very scary without one, so. I thought about just not getting the charm to try to make up some time, but I'd rather be safe. It's all good. Exactly. So the lore of this minigame is this ghost, for whatever reason, wants to make food, and we have to kill a bunch of chickens for him. And he's gonna reward us by betraying his boss and giving us the treasure key to go and fight her.
There's been way too much chicken lore at this marathon.
Shout outs to Mort the Chicken. The run was absolutely amazing.
I have to go back and watch the VOD. I was asleep for that, unfortunately.
Shoutouts to 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Dude, shout outs to shout outs. Let's be real here. Oops. If you want to get in a quick donation, you can.
Sure, I have $10 from Dozer247. Hey Zen, good luck on the run, and hey chat, spam those rack attacks.
Yes, all of the rack attack. I will be very disappointed when I go back and watch the VOD if I don't see rack attack.
$10 from Pittis that says, had to wake up in time for the Sly run. Love the game, good luck to Zenthrow. Don't let Carmelita catch you.
I appreciate that.
$500 from With Ice Cream.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm still awake. Super stoked to see Sly 1 live at GDQ. Good luck, Zen.
Thank you for your generous donation and your good luck. So this level is really fun. And by really fun, I mean we're going to be sitting here doing literally nothing for 2 minutes. So just keep the donations coming.
Yes, sir. I have $25 from Asaf Alberto. Good, so cool to see my favorite childhood game getting wrecked while holding my 2-week-old son. Good luck to Zenthrow and watch out for those rooster bombs. $25 from A Cat Stuck in a Tree. Hey, Zen Boy, best of luck, not that you will need it. I won't yell at you for staying up late this time because it's for a good cause after all.
Gotta love Cat. Stream mom.
$150 from Neo Wolf. Hey, from Australia. Sly Cooper is one of my favorite ever games, and Zenthrow is killing it, so I had to donate. Also, my mom is in the hospital at the moment, which sucks, but I'm grateful that she has access to care that she needs thanks to GDQ, all the staff, runners, and donators for raising money to give everyone that opportunity. You guys are the best.
Yeah, GDQ does a wonderful job here. It's absolutely amazing, all of the great things that they've done.
$5 from Simply AJ251. Hey Zenthrow, just wanted to say you're a pretty swell guy for running this game. I've always been a huge Sly fan, and I feel really that I connect with him as a character. Keep up the good work, and also Goon Gang. Nice to see you, AJ.
Oh,
Nah, that's fine.
okay.
Hey, instant key. So you can actually skip that key animation with a very, very precise load, but it actually doesn't save any time. I totally lied to people for like a year and a half thinking that it saved time. Fortunately, I was the only person that ever went for it, so I only ruined myself, but it's all good. So here we have a fancy new route to show off for you guys that is really hard, but it looks really cool.
The jump at the beginning of the level is deceptively tricky. To jump off the, it's called bone jump to skip up here early.
And losing that charm is fine. I need to get rid of it anyway, so. Come on. There we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice little double jump backwards there.
Yeah, so abusing, again, the fact that you can jump as soon as Sly latches onto an object to give yourself extra height. So I wanted to make sure that I actually had a life to do a death abuse in the next level. And that's the reason why it's okay to take the damage there and get rid of the charm. Unfortunately, it means I won't have a safety charm unless I want to go out of my way to get one, which I'll probably do. Because I have zero faith in myself.
We believe. Do we believe, people?
We believe, Zen.
I appreciate all of you. So if you want to run the game on PS2, you get to listen to this wonderful cutscene where Ms. Ruby says Sly Cooper very loud and very long. It's great.
Yeah, resetting the game here, if you're playing on a PS2, it's actually slightly slower. So you just get to watch it.
Yep. It's really weird because she talks the slowest out of all of the like villains in the game, but her cutscene is actually the shortest by like 20 seconds. So I jumped there right at the start to make a faster cycle, because I'm a madman and I don't like life. And then here we're going to be jumping out of bounds. And I'm using some invisible collision up here to get behind Ms. Ruby. And then we're going to die in this water. And all of the water behind here, they didn't think that you would ever be able to get back here without being in the second phase of the fight. So as soon as you land in the water and die, a flag gets set that spawns you in the second phase, and that allows you to skip a cutscene.
All right, here comes Raccoon DDR.
The zig-zig-zag.
Yes. This is very interesting because they didn't put a cap on how many inputs you could use here, so you can just spam the inputs instead of actually playing the timing game.
Funny thing is, on the digital release of this game on PS3, I think this actually desyncs, so it's way harder.
Yeah.
But on just using a disc on a backwards compatible console, it is just fine.
That's where the mashing really comes in handy. You can just turn the music off so you don't have to listen to it.
Just if you looked at Ms. Ruby's health bar, you would have noticed it was already a quarter of the way down, even though that was the first hit that Zenthrow got, because he skipped that first phase.
Here we go again.
This is another moment where I want to shout out Kevin Miller, the voice of Sly. There was a very long-standing debate in the Sly community whether he says zigzag on square and circle or dig that. And when he was actually chilling in one of my streams one time, he actually managed to pull up a script of the game that he had still left over on his computer to look it up, and has confirmed that it is indeed zigzag, unfortunately.
Shouts to zigzagging.
Yeah, zigzagging. We didn't have enough of that in Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Nope. Is saying voodoo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the end of this fight here, what Zenthrow's going to do is he's going to try and hit Miss Ruby twice as the screen fades out to beat her.
We got it.
You got it. Nice.
Three worlds down, 2 more to go. And it only gets harder and harder. So at the start of this level, we have a wonderful strat where we're going to jump on a sign and then jump out of bounds again. And this sign is just, you either get it first try or you sit here and you do nothing for 20 seconds and try to get on the sign. Nice, third try, we'll take that. And very important here, if you go too far to the left and you're up by the snow, you'll actually trigger the cutscene that we're going out of bounds to avoid. And that's bad for 2 reasons. 1, because we lose a lot of time from that, and 2, because the Panda King kills a bunch of innocent people, and that's just not cool. We don't like that. We get to save the frames and save people in this game. Here, again, out of bounds. Don't worry about it. It's all good. So an interesting mechanic that I don't think I've actually talked about yet, because I haven't really had to use it, is called slope jumping. And essentially what that is when you run up against an angled wall and you do your first jump, you'll actually gain a lot more speed and a lot more height from it. So we're going to be doing that here to skip the intended way of moving around this building and hit this firework early. And then we're going to be doing another super jump, which was originally found by, I believe, a guy called LeMayke. He's a really, really old runner, well before my time. And then I refined the setup to no longer need a charm. So we can just go over here, do another slope jump, get stuck in these trees, and we're through the level.
Nice.
Now, unfortunately, I do need that key, so I have to go back and grab it. But this is actually faster for 2 reasons. The first being that we get to skip the awful key animation that takes forever. And the second being when I view map back to that hub world, I will spawn in the center, which is a little bit faster. It skips having to load the game traditionally. And, it's just nice. So this is another one of those like rail shooter levels where you don't really do anything so long as you have the locations of the guard spawn memorized. That's really the only way you can save or lose time. So if you want to read some donations, this is again another really good time.
All right, we have $25 from Duke that says, this one is for Zenthrow and Neon. Thank you guys for all you do for the community. My dad and I are up early enjoying this run. Cheers to a great cause and some great people. Much love and good luck with the rest of the run. $25 from Corundum Core 32. Absolutely love the Sly Cooper series. Question for Zenthrow. What are your rankings for the Sly games, both casually and speedrunning?
Oh boy, this is gonna invoke some ire. So speedrunning wise, I prefer Sly 1, and then it goes Sly 2, Sly 4, and Sly 3. And then casually, I like Sly 2 the most, and then it goes Sly 1, Sly 4, Sly 3.
We have $10 from Freel SR. Hey Zen, Freel here. Just wanted to pop in and wish you the good luck on your run. Super hyped to see you finally made it into GDQ. Money goes to Runner's Choice. $15 from Crimson A. Zenny boy, can't begin to tell you how proud I am to see you finally up on the GDQ stage, living the dream. You're a cool cat, my friend. Watching this with a 26-hour sleep deficit, but I've never been so alert because of this tall cup of joe in front of me. Winky face. Take my luck and tell Bentley, skip to heck right off. $10 from Jonas023. This is probably a bit late, but I promised Neon I would do this. Dig, dig, dig. $50 from Anonymous. Oh no, I missed the $1 million milestone, but I am so happy to see it. Good luck to all the runners. Hype? Less than 3. Thank you.
I have a really amazing community. There are so many people that are staying up so late to watch this run, and it makes me so happy. I'm trying really hard to not like smile too much because my face is gonna hurt afterwards, but you guys are amazing.
You're amazing, Zen.
You're all breathtaking.
Alrighty, so here we have a really, really old trick. This is like 7 or 8 years old. It was originally found by Surreal, one of the first people to really put this game on the map. And it was never really used because not only was it not really just a good trick, it was also incredibly inconsistent. And then Neon, here on the couch, found a new setup for it. And then I basically just refined it from there to make it really consistent.
Easy first try.
Exactly.
And also a shout out to Surreal. He's a super old boy. Started messing with this game back in like 2011, 2012, I think, before a lot of people. He messed with some other games like Spyro and Ape Escape. He's a really cool dude.
Yeah. So in this level, I really like this level, but there's really not a whole lot that goes on. There's like one big skip, and then that's pretty much it. So if you want to throw a donation our way, we can do that.
Certainly can. We have $5 from Newton244. My grandma taught me how to play video games when I was little, and Sly Cooper is her favorite franchise to this day. Donating what little I can during Sly 1 in her honor.
That's awesome.
$10 from Hoagie. Fish is the best level in the game, and you can't change my mind. May the spinning gods be in your favor.
That's perfectly timed.
Are we coming up on it soon?
Yes, it's the next level.
Excellent. $15 from Ned. Good morning from Bulgaria. Shout out to the runners, the crowd, and the crew behind the scenes. Keep up the great work.
Okay, so we have some really cool out-of-bounds movement coming up, and then we have what is arguably the worst thing about speedrunning this game, unfortunately.
You mean the best?
Yes, totally the best. So this trick we can either sit here for the rest of the night, unfortunately, or we can get it in like 5 seconds. It's a very, very small margin of time difference there.
This was the instant spinning we were talking about earlier. So if you like spin into the corner, at some point, yep.
Wow, that was really
fast. He's gonna shoot out of bounds. And the second part of this, he's gonna sit on the pedestal coming up here, and it's gonna allow him to get the key without actually having to go to the key.
Oh, I overshot it. That's fine.
That's right, that was really quick for the spinning. Sometimes, again, like that can either take forever. Sometimes you can actually just get launched back into the loading zone and have to re-enter the level if you get really unlucky, but that was really good.
Yeah. The most important part there is getting out of bounds quickly. The tower skip only saves about 10 seconds. And I'm very, very serious when I say that I have spent 10 minutes not getting spinning or not getting the trick there. So getting it that quickly is really awesome.
Shots, let's grabs.
All right. So that looks pretty inconsequential, but if I would have been any further to the right there, I would have triggered a very, very long cutscene where Carmelita and Sly have a bunch of like friendly banter, and Sly like makes fun of the Panda King for being a villainous extortionist, and good times. Shout out to the 2-second time saves that are ridiculously hard.
Gotta go for the swag.
Exactly. See, like I said earlier, we get all the hard stuff out of the way first try. So another change from the last time that Sly was in GDQ, normally you would do a death abuse here by triggering a checkpoint, but instead you can just grab this and jump right up here to where you would death abuse to, so that's a really neat little optimization.
See how evil Carmelita is going to be. She can shoot out the platform you're about to jump to if you get super unlucky like that.
Yeah.
Bad fox. The only time you'll ever hear me call a fox bad. So that was a little optimization there. Normally, the casual way is you're supposed to hit the fireworks to break it, but they had a little oversight, and Sly's cane can actually break those rocks. So it used to break the rocks with Sly's cane, but you can actually jump up and get on top of the collision, and then just double jump up over the rocks. So that's really good.
I also like how in that cutscene, Carmelita is just shaking her fist at you as she just casually falls into a huge pit.
Yeah, it's great.
And doesn't do anything.
I wish she would teach me that levitation technique. That'd be really useful. So I want some snow cones.
Yes, snow cones. Well, minding my post, I noticed a snow cone stand, and I think to myself,
I'm sure there's one open. It's not too late, right, guys?
so I hurry over here, and then all of a
Yeah, so unlike the first race, which was mandatory to go all the way around, there's actually a pretty cool skip here that lets you just grab the key immediately, because the key is just off the track. So if you can get out of bounds, you can just grab it. So that's what Zen is going to try to do here.
Elbowing the heads.
fly, but trust me, I got this under control.
No, you don't, Murray. You never have this under control. So who's ready for another really, really long race that's really dumb and boring?
Yeah. Wait, what are you doing, Zen? What are you doing? Oh, no. Wait, what?
Oh,
All right.
first try.
I'm sorry to disappoint everybody. That's it. We're done.
First try.
First try race skip.
Easy every time.
So fortunately for us, there was a minor oversight there, and the invisible wall that's supposed to block the door has a gap in between it. So think of it like a double-sided volleyball net, where you have the net up here and the net below, and we're essentially ramping off of the background in between those two nets. And the trigger for Murray to get out of the van and collect the key is there the entire time, so. What's really interesting and kind of depressing is for the second race, that trigger's actually there. We've had people in the modding community actually put Murray in there, and he does get out of the van and goes and collects the key, but there's no way to get in there right now, and we've tried pretty much everything that we can think of. So the modding community is really great. We don't give them enough credit for all the wonderful things that they do. They help us out a lot. All right, so we're going to explain this afterwards. Oh, whoops. I don't know how to count to 10, by the way. See, told you I don't know how to count to 10. Mm-hmm. Whoops. So I'm gonna load the game to get my charm back, because I thought I was far enough away to not die, but I guess I was just barely inside the hurt box. But there we go, 4th world down. So Neon, since you were the pioneer of that setup, do you want to explain what I just did there?
Yeah, so on Panda King, there was a runner a few years back called Knight Grimoire, and he actually found a way to hit the Panda King 10 times and then stay up next to him. And I made a setup where you could kind of hit him and jump at the same time, spamming X, and you can actually cancel his knockback animation and stand up there with him. And if you do so successfully, he won't even do any more attacks. The entire fight is basically cheesed at that point, which is pretty cool.
So who loves long, boring auto-scrollers?
Love it.
So as the name of this level would imply, long, boring auto-scroller, this is a wonderful time to read off some of those fantastic donations.
Excellent. We have $25 from Leafeon. Thank you for running this game. I love it so much. I will donate another $10 if everyone on the couch could give their best Bentley impressions. Thanks again for running this incredible game, Sly.
Oh boy.
So how about it, boys? You gonna give it a go?
Trying to think of a line that I
Is there an iconic line?
Trying to think of one.
I put you on the spot. I apologize. Leafeon, why would you make me do that?
Yeah.
All right, we have $15 from Crimson A. No, seriously, you better tell that Bentley skip to heck right the heck off when you get there. Mm-hmm. I know where you live, son. Zenthrow, dab.
Oh, man.
$50 from Combat Wombat 176. This is the best trash panda and fox block ever. Now let's pet that dog. $10 from Captain Waka. Had to donate during the Sly Cooper run for such an awesome game. Good luck to the runner. Hype!
This game is wonderful.
$50 from Algebro. Had to donate during this game. I used to get my wife into video games. Good luck to Zenthrow.
All right, so here is another wonderful minigame called Burning Rubber. And I'll go ahead and let Bentley explain this.
There are only 119 computers there.
The first one with 60 computers wins.
So Bentley just straight up lies to you here and says there's only 119, but if you're at like 59 computers and the slugs are at 60, I've actually seen a couple of extra computers like spawn for whatever reason. So, I don't know, I think Bentley's just bad at his hacking job. We need to fire him and hire a new hacker.
I mean, we do not let him hack later in this run, so clearly
Exactly.
he's got some problems.
Yeah, I wonder if that's our fault. We haven't let him brush up on his skills in like, 8 years. So these four slugs, a lot of people seem to think initially that when you hit these slugs, you're actually killing them, and then more just spawn on like random intervals. But it's actually the exact same 4 slugs, and then how far you hit them away from like whatever side they're currently on determines how fast it takes them to get back into the middle. And there's a really interesting mechanic. So if you see like the wall back there from where I loaded at, that part of the wall doesn't actually have collision, so you can just straight up knock the slugs out of the arena and completely despawn them. Oh boy.
This is the big one.
Here we go.
The hardest trick in the game for years and years.
I think Surreal also found this trick a long time ago, so.
It wouldn't surprise me. Let's go.
Yes. Easy first try.
Okay, so right here, that looks extremely free, but you actually only have like a 2-frame window to pause the game there. And shout outs to Hoagie Pops. He's probably gonna hate me for saying this, but you can actually mash the pause button too fast and close the pause menu. And it loses a lot of time because you have to wait for this really weird part of the cutscene where the pause menu comes back up and it loses like 37 seconds. So shout outs to Hoagie, the only guy I've ever seen get that more than once. I love you, Hoagie.
Yeah, so we skipped a cutscene here, but what happened is Sly got his cane stolen by one of those robotic owls, and so he has to climb through this section to retrieve it.
Do something cool.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so this level is awesome. It's a lot of high technical, like a lot of technical skill involved in it. And there's this really cool skip at the end of it that I'll tell the story in the cutscene in the next part, but it's a really good story about how this trick was found, so for now, just enjoy the really cool movement.
I had a donation come in from Kevin, $15 that says, which games do you guys like more, Sly Cooper series or a Jack? He personally prefers Jack. Thoughts?
Ooh. Imagine.
They're both pretty good series, I would say.
Yeah.
I think I like Sly more, but I don't really have any bias, you know, so. Okay, so.
Clearly no bias.
Oh, no, definitely not. So the story behind that trick is about a year, probably a year and a half ago now at this point. I was sitting there for countless hours trying so desperately to figure out a way to make that jump, and I just could not do it. And a couple of months ago, I was showing Neon on the couch here. I was trying to show him that this jump was just barely not makeable, and I managed to make the trick happen somehow for literally no reason, so. I love accidentally finding strats. It's like my favorite thing in speedrunning is when someone is just trying random nonsense and then just finds something incredibly huge.
Nice shooting, Sly. You got him. Wow, that's one tough owl.
I don't get it. You're so familiar with my...
You probably have time for a donation here.
Sure, we have $30 from Tsud251. Cooper, get back here, you criminal. $5 from Finn Lion. It's great to see my favorite childhood game done with lots of tricks. I couldn't even dream of doing this when I was a kid. Greetings from Finland, and thank you to GDQ for these amazing events.
Okay, so getting into explaining phase 2, there are a few patterns that you can get, and it's only those few patterns. So I'm gonna try to manipulate a good pattern here by staying on the left side of the screen, and fortunately I did it right. So we can get a 1 cycle on the first left shot. And then for the rest of these, the 1 cycles are really easy to hit, so there's no reason to manipulate the AI. We just gotta hope for no purple rings.
Yeah, so once you go through these rings, there's just a very low chance that they just come back and hit you from behind. Now Zenthrow has a charm right now, so that wouldn't kill him, but sometimes you don't have a charm in the run at this point, and it just kills you, and then you have to do this all over again, and it's extremely obnoxious.
Yep. Good times. So right here we have this really amazing trick and the last 30 seconds of the run that saves like 30 seconds. So I have a charm, I'm gonna give it one try, and hopefully that's all we need.
There you go.
This jump is very precise.
Really risky.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. Time's coming up on the final hit.
Yeah, get ready on time.
Get ready on time.
3, 2, 1, time.
It took some tricky maneuvering, but I managed to snatch that last piece of the Thievius Raccoonus that clockwork skull. I had taken down each member of the Fiendish Five.
110. That's not bad. I'll take that for all the things that went wrong.
Good stuff, man.
And finally,
So,
I'd beaten
the Sly community would be very upset at me if I didn't let this cutscene play out. So, while the cutscene's playing out, I want to take a moment to shout out everybody in the Sly community. You're all wonderful people. I wouldn't be here without all the people that back me up in the Sly community and my personal stream community. So, thank you all very much for supporting me throughout all these years of running the game. And here's to just keep chucking along. If you want to run the game, we have a Discord. It's linked on the speedrun.com page. This category is very beginner friendly, and I know it doesn't look very beginner friendly, but jumping into it, you get to skip all of like the hard stuff at 80%, and then you get to upgrade to all these really cool strats when you finally get good. So it'll be a really good time.
We're back to playing cops and robbers.
Thank you to GDQ for having me, and thank you to all the tech guys that do all a wonderful job behind the scenes. It's actually really amazing to see all the cool stuff that goes on here. Thank you to my couch for hanging out with me, and thank you all for coming out for this run at just extremely late hours. So,
Shout out to the crowd.
Yeah.
They've been so well.
wait for it.
1.
He gets the kiss, guys. Alrighty, we don't need to see the rest of this.
Debated.
Debated.
See you later, GDQ.
Thank you so much to Zenthrow for that amazing run. Before we continue with our programming, we are going to play a short Twitch ad, and we will be right back. Welcome back to Summer Games Done Quick 2019. I'm your host, SmoothOperative, and we are about to set up for Star Fox 64. But before we get to the run, I'd like to read you a few donations. We have $25 from Niara Wolf that says, loving so much about right now, loving Sly and loving the run, and loving the amount of Aussies donating to an awesome cause. Also loving my boyfriend who has been watching SGDQ with me all week long. Good luck with the rest of the run and the rest of the event. $100 from Canadian Kame that says, nice run. It was, wasn't it? $15 from Level 99 Mr. Clean. This $15 is coming from 3 hours in the past, Alaskan time. I'm so glad it's midnight here so I can watch you destroy my favorite platforming series from the PS2 generation at 4 a.m. Huge shout out to you guys for staying determined to raise money so early for such a great cause. And shout out to all of you out there that are still awake at 4 a.m. We have $10 from Sailor Eli that says, Doggo has been pet. Pet, pat, pat, pop, pet, pop, pat. And with that, the Octopath Traveler Pet the Dog incentive of $10,000 has been met. So we will be petting the dog later on. $20 from Call Sign Suitcase. Watched for many years, but this is my first time donating. Happy to put my hard collected funds towards Doctors Without Borders. Putting this towards Therion for the Octopath run. I'm ready for Star Fox, are you? They're definitely ready for Star Fox over here. $30 from Bad that says, amazing run. Here's $30 for all the Cooper and Thievius I heard. And thank you, Bad, for keeping your word. $30 from Anthony L. I just had to donate for the chance to win the map of the Arstera continent from Octopath Traveler, easily in my top 10 games ever. This donation is going towards giving Hannah the love she deserves. $5 from Anonymous. There's a cow level in Diablo 2 and no one told me about it. Donation for my husband's favorite game and my favorite animal. And right now we are currently at $4,441 out of our goal of $40,000 for the Diablo 2 LOD secret cow level. So if you would like to see that, get those donations coming in. $15 from Clockwork39. I see you coming to get me. Stop it. How are you working your way over so fast? Did you kill Raleigh? You monster. How about if I pay you? I know you like money. Here is $15 to your choice. You can have it if you turn around and go away. Well, I personally can't leave the desk, but I don't think anyone's going anywhere for this Star Fox run. $250 from Hatter169. I'm loving all the runs this year. So happy to be donating to such a great charity. Donation goes to TaskBot Plays Celeste. Shoutouts to the cute chat. Aww. Aww. Right now, the bonus game for the TaskBot Plays Celeste is currently at $15,000 about, with a goal of $175,000. So will TaskBot Play Celeste? That's up to you. $25 from Fat Ed. Keep up the good work, SGDQ. Greetings from the Netherlands. $100 from Wade B, asking that I please tell his friend Gavin to get on Skype to remind him that it is GDQ and you better watch. Gavin, get on Skype with your friend Wade. We're about to start Star Fox. Come on, Gavin. Where are ya? Oh, Wade, if Gavin doesn't get on Skype, he is in trouble. $15 from Lep104. Shout out to the hype guys in the back. Woo! $10 from Alan Ripley165. Had to add another donation while SmoothOperative is hosting. Her voice is as adorable as the entire event. Thanks for the great time and all your passion. Aw, Alan, thank you. $10 from David164. I heard a pun a little while ago, so I wanted to throw one in as well. What do you call an elephant that doesn't matter? An irrelevant. Nunskis and I are tuned in to watch your run. $100 from TSD that says, good deal.